it's Sandra from Creating Spain, and today I want to show you how to create a flip accordion card section in Shortcut Slot 4, and hopefully the easiest way that it can be done. Now I've set my page up with some shapes, and the horizontal and vertical and horizontal lines, I should say, are centered to my page and locked in position. I have 3 card bases, 3 inner frames, 2 floating shapes, some hinges and a tab. Now the first thing I need to do is to create my outer shape, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to center it to the page. I'm going to take my hinges and put them so that they are indeed where they should be. I think they might be a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to take the key proportions off and make them a little bit narrower. There we go. So now I'm going to take those and group them, and I'm going to put them so that they line up on there, and I'm going to check that they are vertically aligned. There we go. And that has done the job, and then go to path and union. So that is going to be the basic shape plus my hinges are in there. Now the next thing that I need to do is to center my floating shape into one of the frames, and I don't need it to page actually, I just need it to be there. Hang on, let's take that off. And I need to exclude that path. There we go, path excluded. I'm going to take my tab and center that up as I wish, and just check that that is centered. There we go. And then my tab is going to be taken out of that excluded path, and front minus back. For some reason it's front minus back on that. I don't understand why, but it is. Okay, so this is a shape in its own right. It's basically a shape with a hole in it, and I need to make some adjustments to that little hole. So I'm going to take this frame here, and I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to go to Lock, because I don't want it to move and I don't want to do anything else to it at the moment. I'm going to take this, click to page, and center it, and that will automatically center it where it needs to be centered in there. Notice I'm not centering it to this object, because this object with the hinges is wider. Now I need to use my eraser, and I have it set so that it's a circle, 1.5 centimeters, and I've got the paths closed option. Now I go to where these guidelines hit my inner frame and my circle, the top edge of my circle, like so, and do the same on the bottom, like that. And then if we zoom in a bit, you can see this little creased area just here. I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to put it on the edge of that little bit there. It's about halfway through, and click again. There we go. Okay, so that is the basic shape made. Now I'm going to unlock some objects. Okay, but I'm going to relock this one. So I want to go to Object and Lock for that. And the reason being is I need to put in some extra cut lines. And I need this one to go to the top of that. This object, the outer line, needs to be locked again. And so if I take this horizontal line and this, and I go line up with the top, please. Oops, it's done it to page. Hang on. Uncheck the to page and line it up to the top. There we go. So it's now lining this line up with here, which is where I need it to be. I'm going to select this and I'm going to move it over to the right hand side where I have the wider piece here, and I'm going to do that. Yep, that's lined up nicely, and I'm going to select that line again. I'm just going to make it a lot shorter. Whee! Make it a lot shorter just by clicking on the arrows on there. I find this is easier to do, and it means that I tend not to adjust the line's angle by doing that. Now I'm going to take that, I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place, and I'm going to move it to the left and down to the top edge of the circle. That's where I need it to be there. And I'm going to zoom in again because I want to get it accurately where it should be. And I'm just going to select that line. I'm going to move it over a bit. Oh, too much. Use my fine adjustment arrows. And again, it is a little bit too long, so I'm going to take the length down. And I need to make that a little bit longer, perhaps. So if I'm very careful, there we go. I can make it so that it hits that line there. Now I'm going to take those two lines and I'm going to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place, and then I'm going to flip them so that they are upside down. And then I'm going to move them, and I'm going to scroll down my screen, and I should be able to do exactly the same thing there. Okay, so that's put my lines where I need them. If I need to move them very slightly, then I can just use my nudge to move it. Okay, and I'm just going to go back to my fit to window to get the view on that, and I am going to lock the entire thing up. So go to the lock. So I can't move anything that I don't want to move. That's the important thing. Okay, I can't accidentally shift it and move something where it shouldn't be. But having done that, I actually want to unlock this line. Now I could find it in all my layers, but can I be bothered? No. So I'm going to unlock everything. And I'm just going to lock everything else again. Okay, so there we go. The only thing I can move now is this line here. And the reason I want to move this one is because it's going to become a fold line for me. Now if I zoom in, we know this line is on the center. And I'm going to make it a lot shorter because I definitely don't need it to be that long. But we know the line is where it needs to be along the central plane of this. So I can just move that down with my arrows so that the top of it, hopefully, goes to just there. And I'm just going to move it up with my macro arrows. There we go. And that's fine. So I'm going to take that, go to Edit, go to Copy, go to Paste in Place, and then move that one down to here. Now I'm lining it up with this line here, and as it happens, it's pretty well lined up. Now the thing that I do need to do with this is to change the colour, because this isn't a cut line, this is a fold line. And denoting this in a different colour tells me, hey, that's not the same as those. So right, now I'm going to go to Unlock All, and I am just going to group this little lot here. So I have my card base. Now I go to Fit to Window again. It's nearly done. I need to make decor panels. Now this is the same size as this. Now I could center this in here and leave it at that. Center centre the wrong piece. Could centre the frame to this and leave it at that. But if I do that, that can interfere with the hinge. So if you want to, and I don't say you have to, but if you want to, you might want to do a little offset on that to make it a little bit smaller. You don't have to, but it's a possibility. This one, again, is the size of that circle there. So you don't have to offset it if you don't want to, but you might choose to. But you have the shapes here in order to do it if you so wish. And that's the important bit. You have the choice. If you want to do it, you can. If you don't want to do it, then you don't have to. And we've got these spares because we all know we sometimes do things and we think, I wish I kept the spare. So we've got them in case we need them. The important design features to note are that these fold lines are in the centre, that your cut lines here are far enough apart that this area which is attached to the card is not going to be too narrow. Okay, so that is the important bit, that it is actually going to work from that point of view. That is an important consideration, that when you twist this, there is enough card there for it to twist and to not be an issue. And on page 1, I've got a different version, and on page 3, I've got another version, and then page 4 is the one that I just done. Okay, I hope that was of use to you. Thanks very much for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.